It's 21 minutes after 3 o'clock. Good to have you with us on Today on eNCA. Now, eThekwini residents say they're only given an hour's notice before their power is cut. The country, of course, experiencing ongoing power cuts at various stages, stage 3 or stage 4, many expressing their frustration when it comes to the issue as well. Our businesses in the area are worried about the continued loss of business and the lack of urgency, it seems, from leaders to solve the issue. Let's bring you the latest now. eNCA reporter Lethiwe Mdluli with the very latest. And Lethiwe, hello to you. So we'll talk about reaction from business in a moment. Before we get to that, of course, citizens very, very unhappy. What are they telling you?
Well, Gareth, it's very frustrating to get a notification an hour before that stage or the load shedding is actually implemented in your area. And a lot of people are saying that it's very, very frustrating for them to only get a notification around 2 saying that at 3 you won't have lights. A lot of people are saying that now, because they're used to load shedding, they are emotionless. But of course, it's still a bit frustrating to get told that you will have load shedding in an hour's time. It doesn't give them time to prepare. It doesn't give them time to cook. And those who have children are struggling to deal with what is currently happening. And a lot of people are saying that they are used to load shedding by now. It's been years. And more recently, they are used to stage 4 as well, saying that 4 times a day they are without electricity, they are without power for a number of hours, and it's kind of a norm now that they just have to get used to this. They are, of course, also calling for our leaders to come up with a plan, because they are saying as citizens they don't know which or what solution they can actually come up with to end load shedding. The only people who can actually help them out is the government. They are also saying that for now there is nothing that seems to be actually happening. They are blaming Eskom for a lot of the issues that the country is facing, saying that not only the notices being late is frustrating, but also the fact that there's stage 4, there's stage 6, and then there's stage 8. There's different stages that they are experiencing is very frustrating. You understand that there's some people who work from home who need the power to keep going. We spoke to schools, we spoke to hospitals who have made calls to the government to be excluded from the grid, saying that sometimes when you're preparing for an exam, if you're a school, you need to keep the lights on. Of course, hospitals are also saying that they have patients. They need electricity to basically look after those patients. So they're saying that they need the government to get involved and try and exclude them from load shedding. A lot of people are just frustrated and they're emotionless at this point. But I spoke to a few people a bit earlier on, and this where there are answers as to how are they dealing with the current stage 4 load shedding.
I-load shedding isiphatha kabi ngoba manje into eziningi imile futhi nanani ama-fridge ayafa, oma-TV ayafa, kaze kubuya kwagesi uyabuya uphinde uhambe usiboshela nje into eziningi. Kuyimanje nje kodwa kufuneka sikhande isondo lemoto siphoqela ukuthi sime, kumele sihambise abantu le ema-Respect, abantu bagcine belate, ugesi awubuya, ama-compressor awasebenzi.
The power just going off now. Sometimes you're not even at home and you have to just try and rush home to get stuff charged, or people need to cook. Sometimes people don't even have money to buy something to eat and they haven't cooked yet. So yeah, it is a bit frustrating, yeah, a lot frustrating.
We are very upset about it. We don't know what are they doing about it. Has the councillors, the government, they're just making the people to suffer.
So Lethiwe, that's what's happening with residents who feel hopeless. I mean, that's what's coming across in what we heard from those residents a moment ago. And it's always easy, isn't it, when we talk about businesses and how much money we're losing as an economy. But we need to just narrow it down, don't we? Let's just talk about local business in the area, because it's the small and medium-sized businesses that are really feeling it every single day.
Yeah, and I've been speaking to small businesses and also big business, and they're all saying the same thing. They've been affected, their money is affected, their staff is affected. Basically everyone around is just affected. When it comes to small businesses, though, I actually spoke to a restaurant that actually opened up in August, and they are saying that before they opened, they had to invest in a generator because they knew that load shedding is something that they have to live with. And another business that I spoke to was saying that sometimes patrons, when load shedding hits, they leave without paying, and it's very hard to control a crowd when the lights are out. So they're basically losing out on money, and of course the economy is affected. Big businesses have been saying that that the economy is not going to grow because of this load shedding, because they can't operate if there's no power. The businesses located in townships as well, for people who are selling whatever they're selling, they need to cook whatever they're selling. So it's very hard for them to keep on going when there's no power. I've been speaking to businesses in townships in the CBD, and today we actually went to a restaurant and we spoke to a restaurant owner who shared with us that as a business for them, they tried to invest in a generator, but unfortunately because of the floods, the generator was destroyed. So now they are kind of debating whether they want to buy another generator or just live with the situation, because this is what they're faced with and there's nothing they can do. And he was explaining that they are losing out on money every day when load shedding hits. I spoke to this business and this is what they had to say.
Well, unfortunately, everyone knows that KZN went through a bad patch whereby we experienced bad floods. Our generator got damaged around that time. So for a business to procure a generator and to come back and try and procure another one where it wasn't part of the plan, it does take a bit of time. Yeah. We are working on a solution that will work for the business, because load shedding does hit us, or whatever times that it hits us, and it really has affected the business, because sometimes we have people walking out without paying when it's dark, and you can't control people. Yeah. And overall, for security reasons as well, you just don't want to be that outlet owner that is irresponsible for customers as well. Yeah.